They rerouted their gutter into my driveway, so I turned their flood into their downfall. It started after the first heavy rain of spring. Normally, my concrete driveway handled storms fine. Water ran down to the street drain, no problem. But this time, when I opened my front door, I found a shallow river gushing across the pavement and pooling ankle-deep against my garage. At first, I thought it was just bad weather, but when the clouds cleared, I spotted the real cause. My neighbor's shiny new downspout, bright aluminum, freshly installed, wasn't pointed at his own yard. Number. It was routed under the fence and ended right at the edge of my driveway. Every gallon of roof runoff, thousands of gallons an hour, was now my problem. I marched over. "Hey, Carl, your gutter is draining into my property." He grinned like I was making small talk. "Yeah, the landscaper said it was the easiest route. Your driveway slopes better than my lawn. Consider it free irrigation." Irrigation. My garage door was swelling from the water. My concrete was cracking from freeze-thaw cycles. But Carl just shrugged. "Water's water, man. It'll dry." I called the city, filed a complaint. They promised an inspector in 6 to 8 weeks. Meanwhile, every storm turned my driveway into a swamp. My car tires sat in puddles so deep they left ruts in the asphalt. I tried trenching a temporary channel to divert the flow. Carl spotted me digging and laughed. "You're wasting your time. That water's not going anywhere else." That was the moment something snapped. He thought he'd trapped me. But water doesn't just flow one way. I started documenting. Photos after each storm. Videos of the torrent blasting onto my property. Measurements of the puddle depth. 3 inches, 5 inches, 7 inches. I logged dates, times, and even water damage receipts when my garage door motor shorted out. But evidence wasn't enough. I needed a plan. That's when I remembered a trick from a buddy who worked construction. He once told me, water doesn't disappear. It just finds the lowest point. So I decided to give Carl exactly what he wanted, his water back. I bought 2 yards of heavy clay fill and rented a compactor. Over a weekend, I reshaped the slope of my driveway. Just a subtle ridge, no taller than 4 inches, but enough to redirect every drop of water back toward the fence. Then, at the exact spot his downspout crossed into my property, I installed a French drain pipe that ran underground for 10 feet, right back into his flower beds. It was legal, it was tidy, and it was poetic. The next storm came on a Thursday. Sheets of rain hammered the roofs. I watched from my porch as Carl's downspout spewed like a fire hose. Only this time, the water hit my ridge, rolled into the French drain, and vanished. For a moment, Carl probably thought he'd won, but 10 minutes later, his perfect tulip garden turned into a swamp. By the half-hour mark, his backyard looked like a pond. By the end of the night, his basement sump pump was working overtime. The next morning, I found him bailing water with a bucket, rage plastered across his face. He stormed over, soaking wet. "You diverted it back to me." I smiled. "I just made sure the water stayed on the property it came from." He threatened lawsuits, called me names. But when the city inspector finally arrived, clipboard in hand, it wasn't me who got the warning. It was Carl. Illegal rerouting of stormwater without a permit. Violation of Code 52.14. The inspector pointed to the swampy mess in Carl's yard. "Sir, you're responsible for your own drainage. Fix it within 30 days or face fines up to $10,000. Carl sputtered. But the law was clear. He paid contractors thousands to reroute his downspout properly into the municipal drain. Meanwhile, my driveway stayed dry. The best part? The inspector reviewed my French drain setup and nodded. Textbook solution. Nicely done. Carl barely looks me in the eye now. His garden never recovered, and he sold his house the next year, probably still bitter. As for me, I park in a dry driveway every storm, knowing I proved the simple truth. Water runs downhill, and arrogance always pools where it belongs. So tell me, if your neighbor tried to flood you out, would you take the hit or give the flood right back?